so I'm just gonna have to find somewhere to rest the phone for a moment. As you can see, I'm not at home and I've got my makeshift back support on. I'm at the boat, but not the boat, not my boat, well, not the boat that I'm going to be living on. I made a video a few months ago. It was really dark, probably one of the darkest. Where okay, so the boat I'm on, I purchased it, what, a year and a half ago now. And the purpose of its purchase, because what happened was I somehow had the money to live without the need for like housing benefit, and no, that's it. So what happened was I was claiming benefits and I was getting the minimum, which is job seekers allowance, and I was applying for the higher benefits of two other benefits, personal independence payment and employment and support allowance, which is basically the alternative for job seekers allowance if you have a disability. And what happened was I was living okay with the job seekers allowance, and then finally, after months and months and months, I was awarded the other two around the same time, and they were backdated, both of them, for about 6 months each. So it was a fair lump sum I got at the time, considering I was on job seekers allowance. But I was okay, I was managing to get by, I think. Well, I can't remember how I was getting by, but I was getting by obviously with job seekers allowance, and it was a humble life, and I didn't have any problems. So I got the lump sum. I got the lump sum in, and other than paying for, and with that money, because I was making noise at home, I thought it would be a good idea to explore the possibility if I'm able to live on a boat again, because there are certain benefits about living on a boat whereby you're able to just move if it's ever too much of a problem one day. You don't have to disturb your neighbours the next. They don't have to hear you all the time and look at your face all the time passing them. It's more like I annoy them maybe for 1-2 days and that's it. That was the thinking, and it was an exploration, but because I went into it stressed, I never really had much chance. So with the lump sum, I purchased this boat, which was really everything I needed. Yeah, it's like got everything. It's got ability to cook, water, shower, toilet I would have had to sort out, but it had a porta potty, and I installed solar panels that I had on the roof. And with the lockdown, and with last year my mental health being so bad, I explored that idea, and after about 2 weeks I realised I just had to call it quits. I think I can't remember if I ended up in hospital or not shortly after that, but that was it. It was a genuine, sincere exploration if I can make it work, and I couldn't. Then pretty much, I can't remember how events turned out. Then I went to hospital, that's it. I did end up in hospital. And I came out of hospital And then the physical pain hit around the same time as the lockdown. So I was like, just leave the boat there and forget about it. I couldn't think about it, and there wasn't a need to move it. But with everything of late, where I'm looking at where I've purchased the boat again, it's a far more practical solution to my circumstance. And with soundproofing on there, I'm hoping the same thing again, but should be a far better likelihood of me being able to survive and live. No, I'm going to live on it, and medication and hospital are going to be the solutions, because that's my life at present. And it could be that, sorry, I am here, it could be that I have to take them more frequently, but that's where my life is heading, and that's what I have to do. So I came back to this boat back in March, and it had gone, it had disappeared. Don't want to annoy the neighbours too much, do I? So it had gone, it disappeared, and it hit me at such a point in my life. It really did plunge me further into wherever I was. Sorry, I'm waiting for whoever's been squatting here to come back, so I'm slightly nervous. That's the point of this video, to calm my nerves. So it disappeared back in March, and I made the video when it had disappeared, and I realised it had gone, it had been stolen, and it was very dark, very depressing, very much like a M&M 8 Mile car park, really dark battle scene sort of energy, just by chance, the video. And I've been unable to do anything since then. I've been literally paralysed since then with my mental health. My mental health couldn't accept it. I mean, I expected to come back and to see the solar panels pinched. That's what I honestly expected to see. But to see the boat gone, because the way I'd left it, it was in the mud. I couldn't move it out of the mud, and the rope was wrapped around the propeller. So I was like, I don't think I was fearful of it being stolen, but I was fearful of the solar panels being stolen. And I was bracing myself, you know, Andreas, you know, you've not been here for a year. In all likelihood, those solar panels are going to be gone as a worst case scenario, and possibly the batteries inside too. Hold your breath to that, be prepared. And I came back and the boat had disappeared. I was like, I couldn't stomach it. I couldn't stomach how life can be so relentless, you know, one thing after another. And it really affected me. As I said, literally, I've only come out of it recently, the shock, and I'm still coming out of it. But where I'm picking things up again, literally, like starting to think about bills and finances and all of this, which I was unable to do a thing, literally, believe me. I was at the boat, working on the boat last time when I had my mind. Then I realised the boat had gone, and I crumbled since then. It was like the final thing that sent me over the edge. And I contacted the Canal and River Trust last week, and I said to them, look, is it okay to have your, I can't remember what I said to them actually, but I've contacted them to pick up where I left off, and they said no, the boat's still there. So I'm like, what were you talking about? Anyway, I've come here today believing them, and it wasn't in the same place. I don't know how they got it out of the mud and moved it with the rope wrapped around the propeller, but they have. And it's been squatted and it's been looked after, and it's in a better condition than I left it. But with me having a boat, to have this alongside with extra space, it's going to be invaluable to me. Plus I've got a cooker, I've got a sink, I've got certain things on here I can install into the new boat and use this as space, because if I want to show you. Oh, I just banged my head. Because last time I was here and I purchased the boat, I was able to live on a boat like this. Live as you are at home in your house. I know I'm okay to live on a boat like this. I don't need a thing more. I don't need a little bit of space. The engine is tiny. The solar panels are modest for boats, but it's still modest. It's still a modest thing. And it's I don't know if you can see from here, but like that's the cabin. Let's turn it around. No, it doesn't really give a good perspective, but it's a small boat, 24 foot I think. Yeah, we can't really gain. There you go. So that's the boat. That's the front. That's the living cabin underneath up until that vent there. And this is the back. This is where you would steer and cruise the boat from. So it's not really living space at the back. That's where the engine is. But you can store stuff there. The reason I want to show you is because in the space of not a lot of time, I can see what my requirements are. So I'm not quite sure how much is my physical health and how much is my mental health, but I can't live in a boat like this anymore. I mean, everything that's here is what's needed, but in terms of my mental health and in terms of my physical health, I need a bit more space. And I feel arrogant saying I need a bit more space. It's like I'm here and it's like I haven't acknowledged it in my head that